Have you ever been scared? And I don't mean, oh my gosh, what a rush movie scared. I mean really scared. Adrenaline pumping, I can feel them behind me scared. Well, that happens to be one of my favorite feelings. No, and I can only ever get that feeling from going to horror events like Hollywood Horror Nights are Not Scary Farm. Not Scary Farm, though, is by far the best. Their mazes and scare zones are the most immersive that I've ever seen, and I consider myself a connoisseur. So today I will tell you about my experiences at Not Scary Farm so that maybe next year you'll go too. Not Scary Farm, though, wasn't always my first choice. I go to Hollywood Horror Nights a lot with my family. So when my friends and I decided that we were going to go to a horror event, we were going to go to Hollywood Horror Nights. But we're all very busy people, and by the time we scrounged the money up together and chose a date, the tickets were all sold out. So we decided to go to Not Scary Farm instead. We had to leave at 8 a.m. because we ended up getting dual day-night passes, and the park opens at 10. When we were inside the park, the lines weren't long at all. Most were maybe 15 minutes long. So by the time the park closed at 5 to prepare for the main event, we were ready to go relax in the car. When leaving, though, we saw people already in line getting their bags checked. And we wanted to be up in the front too. So we went and got our bags checked and sat outside the park for a full hour before they let us back in for the main event. They put us in front of a line and prepared for the opening ceremony. During the opening ceremony, fog encased our area. You couldn't even see. There was eerie music playing, and a deep voice came over the speakers telling us about how a witch cursed Not Scary Farm and preparing for the main event. When it finally started, monsters ran out everywhere. There were clowns, witches, werewolves, vampires, everything. We dashed for the nearest mage, which just so happened to be Pumpkin Eater. All of the mazes were great. They were dark and loud, but Pumpkin Eater was the best. When you went through, you could hear a loud crunching and screams everywhere. It really encased all your senses. There were pumpkin guts hanging from the ceiling, and sometimes water would drip on you. There was a foul smell emanating, and it really felt like you were inside a pumpkin. The best thing, though, was that some of the rooms even moved. Outside the mazes were not safe either, though. When you left the maze and went out, you could see everyone running from monsters anywhere. You had to be fully prepared for a monster to come up behind you, and you have to check over your shoulder every now and then to make sure nothing was there. You weren't even safe in the bathrooms. When we passed by them, you could see monsters waiting outside for an unsuspecting guest. By the end of the night, your adrenaline was really pumping and you were ready for the next scare. Which makes you miss that first scare, that first time when you were an unsuspecting person just waiting. Which gets me ready for next year so I can get that first scare again.